My name is Dayan. I'll tell my story, which for me was something supernatural. It all happened the day my eldest son was born. His name is Renan and he's 15 now. I remember arriving in labor at a hospital in the interior of São Paulo, Brazil. I felt a lot of pain. I also remember being very well cared for. My delivery was completely normal and shortly after I was in one of the hospital rooms. However, as night fell I began to feel strong stomach pains because the medication had stopped working. I waited for someone to come into my room, and then a nurse entered. I noticed she was a little different from the others who had come into my room. Her uniform was very yellow and her skin was very pale. She cared for me, gave me all the medicine in pill form, and then passed a damp cloth over my belly. She didn't speak to me. I assumed she wasn't talkative, but she was certainly an excellent nurse. After that, every night she looked after me well. That went on for 3 nights. On the 4th day I was discharged and planned to thank all the nurses who had cared for me. But when I spoke about the nurse who had cared for me those 3 nights, they looked at me astonished. One of them told me there had been no nurse on that shift. They asked me what the nurse looked like. When I described her, one of them began to cry because the nurse I was talking about had died almost 10 years earlier in that same hospital of cancer. Her name was Veronica. I insisted once more that I had really seen her, and the nurses told me maybe I had imagined it because of the pain I said I was feeling. I waited for my husband to pick me up. When he arrived I told him what had happened and he was a little scared. Then we got into the car, and as we were leaving I saw this nurse again in one of the windows and told my husband, but he said there was no one there. He said I might be imagining things. To this day I think about it and I'm absolutely sure it was a good soul who came to help me and then left. This happened to me at Hospital Licona in Hermosillo with my wife. It happened when she gave birth to our son. That night I stayed to care for her because she was recovering from the cesarean. She was a little sedated. Later that night, after talking with her, I told her to rest and that I would stay and watch over her, that whatever she needed would be there. So I lay down in a chair to watch TV in front of the bed. There was a door to the bathroom with a mirror on it. I don't remember exactly what time she woke up and told me she wanted water. I got up and brought it to her, and then she asked who was standing in front of the bed. I told her no one. Then she said she had noticed a shadow. That seemed very strange. After thinking about it we concluded that the mirror in the room was opening a portal or something like that. I told her to sleep and that I would watch her, so I closed the bathroom door. However, half an hour later I noticed the bathroom light had turned on and suddenly the door opened with great force. The atmosphere felt very heavy and from that noise my wife woke up frightened. I tried to calm her, telling her nothing had happened and she should rest and I would take care of her. She fell asleep again. She was still in a lot of pain. I grabbed my phone and took a photo of that mirror. Then I took a towel and covered it, said a prayer, and closed the door. After that I lay back in the chair and reviewed the photo. What I saw terrified me because in the mirror's image I could see 2 very ugly, disfigured faces. I immediately deleted the image and didn't tell my wife to avoid scaring her. All that night I felt shadows passing back and forth. It was very stressful for me. This happened at Hospital Licona, where I had been told many strange things happened. I honestly didn't believe it until that night when this happened to us.